Good morning and welcome everybody for this awesome e-commerce via mobile LinkedIn Live. Very happy to see a lot of you joining us here. The technical issues are out of the way. You found the right link. Welcome everybody. Today is the 22/2/2022, so we thought there's not a better day than to discuss e-commerce via mobile. My name is Clément. I have the pleasure to be your host today for the next 45 minutes, where we will discuss amazing insights about what the mobile world has brought to the hotel world, actually, and how we can make sure that we use that for attracting even more hotel guests, specifically in Europe. I have the pleasure to be accompanied by an incredible panel of experts. And one thing that I am so excited about is to discuss very practical as well as strategical ideas on how to take advantage of this. A very short fact to start with. Every single one of us is on average checking their mobile phone 96 times per day. That is on average 4 times per hour. I am pretty sure that actually a lot of us check our phones a lot more than that. But I think that it is more than fair to say that the world is not going mobile. The world is mobile already. And there is great ways that us in the hotel world, in the hotel industry, can take advantage of it. There's nobody better than these amazing speakers and experts to discuss all of this. And as we know, the pandemic didn't help and mobile phones also didn't help, but our attention span is getting smaller and smaller. So that means that we need to have short and sweet webinars. And this is what we want to do. Every single speaker will have exactly 7 minutes to bring the best insights. For any questions, please put them in the LinkedIn comments and we'll be happy to come back to it at the end. And yes, the presentation will be downloadable. It's all about instant gratification with mobile, so you will be able to indeed download all these slides. A link will be posted in the comments at the end of this presentation. Without further ado, the 7 minutes are starting for the very first speaker. Leah, you're up.
Hello, Clément. Thank you. And hi, everyone. I'm Leah, the head of partnership and integration at The Edge. For those who don't know The Edge, we're a CRS provider offering, amongst other products, a range of direct booking tools, including a booking engine, hotel website, and a campaign management platform. I'm also the lucky one that I've met the most of the panelists since they're part of the The Edge integration ecosystem. So great insights. I'm waiting for it. But that's not the topic today. So let's jump into the topic, starting with a few key figures. Based on the DH booking engine data, we can say that half of the booking engine visits are made via mobile in 2021, which represents an increase by 16 points compared to 2019. But while the conversion rate on mobile is 2.5% versus 6% on desktop, mobile bookings now represent 31% of the direct bookings coming through our platform. So to achieve such figures, and maybe more, I wish it for you, we advise you to focus on two pillars. The first one being the user experience, and the second one being the visibility. Indeed, on mobile, the keyword is user experience. The mobile experience must be quick and easy. This means that the navigation, both on the website and on the booking engine, must be adapted to mobile usage and part of an overall digital strategy. So Clément mentioned 96 times we're opening our phones every day. There's one thing we're not willing to do. It's scrolling to find what we're looking for. So to maximize the chances to be booked on mobile, your property must appear on top of the search results. To do so, I have a few tips for you. The first thing is to combine a direct strategy with a powerful bidding management platform. Your meta search partners will love it, and you'll guarantee your top placement on the search results on the meta search. Again, further down the top results, guests simply won't reach out to you and won't book you. So it's more or less like being on page 2 of the results on, let's say, your OTA partners. Second tip, you need to make sure you're equipped with the right booking engine and website. The experience overall must be built for mobile usage. Your website, just like your booking engine, must be loaded in no more than 1 to 2 seconds. I don't know if you're aware, but it's like 53% of mobile visits are abandoned when the pages are taking more than 3 seconds to load. So you need really to look into it. You should also know, if you didn't know, that Google loves fast responding web pages. And there's another thing regarding the right tools. It's about responsiveness. Responsiveness is something that we were talking about a few years ago when talking about the mobile experience. This time is definitely over. Your tool must offer a dedicated mobile experience, which means a quick way through your offers, very few limited scrolling and clicks, and all the information available at one glance. So there's one last thing that you must consider. It's also providing a quick and easy checkout, maybe by including a payment facility like Apple Pay or Google Pay. I told you about two pillars. Let's now talk about feasibility. Let's start with a few key facts. 3 billion searches for hotels are made every year on Google. In addition to that, 6 out of 10 leisure travelers are actually using Google to search and book their trip. And last but not least, Google Maps is taking more and more space in the searches. This means that basically opening their mobile, your potential guests will go on Google Maps to look for a hotel in a certain area. So what does it mean? Simply that the potential travelers and your future guests will land on your Google My Business profile. So if you want to appear on all those search results, I recall you 3 billion searches, more and more on maps, you need to have a Google My Business profile up to date. We also call it GMB. Good news, the platform is easy to use, and more than everything, it's free. So our advice is to just hack it and make the most of it is first to create or claim your account. Then on this account, what you need to do is first to be accurate. You must be listed onto the right category, whether it's a hotel, a hostel, or a resort. You need also to complete your hotel's information with location so that you appear right at the right place on Google Maps, and contact information. That's where you can actually put a phone number or email or whatever, and a link to your website. Second important thing on Google My Business is to highlight your assets. You can increase by up to 50% the traffic on your website if you've completed all your amenities and attributes, being the Wi-Fi, accessibility, parking slot, restaurants, or spa. They are just additional search filters that will be used by Google to showcase your hotels. There's also one thing to consider is that maybe it's not a traveler from far away that will book your restaurant or your spa. It might be your neighbor. So that's why it's very important to consider this My Business localization. I think overall it's super important to be visible locally and to reply quickly to the questions of the potential bookers. And Benjamin from Quick Test will also show you a few tips on how to increase the response time regarding your property. Third thing regarding Google My Business is also a way for you to work on your e-reputation and continue the conversation with your guests that have left on Google directly. So from your Google My Business account, you can reply to all your reviews. And it's also an opportunity when a guest is leaving a bad review to turn it into a positive advertising. Last but not least, mobile is a true inspirational device and media for to potential bookers of your hotel to get inspired and to book and choose their accommodation. So you need to not forget social media. You can use both Instagram and Facebook to showcase your property's atmosphere, whether it's via the facilities pictures, videos of your guests directly, or pictures from your guests directly that can be showcased onto your community's devices. So last thing about social media, there's a space for you to describe your property. So don't forget to add your website or booking engine direct link. And that's it for me. Thank you for your attention, and over to you, Clément.
Thank you so much, Leah. Amazing insights. Clearly, a lot of ways to attract and let your guests book online, right? This is what we all want, and especially on mobile. Thanks a lot for that. And now the word is over to Roger from Sojourn.
Hi, Clement. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Roger, and I'm part of Sojourn Strategic Accounts and Partnerships team. It's my pleasure to be here today and share with this webinar with such an amazing group of panelists. So I'll talk you through today about the importance of mobile on a multi-channel strategy. So just to start with, based on the data that we collect from our data partnerships, we can see like mobile is on the race. While this still may not be a surprise, and overall we can still associate searches happening on mobile and bookings more likely to happen or to take place on desktop. So there is a gradual device usage shifting since 2019. So as you can observe on the right-hand side table, mobile searches have increased from 48% in 2019 to 53% in 2021, and bookings have jumped from 25% in 2019 to 31% last year. So when we look into more details across into different trip types, we observe that domestic travels have a higher mobile usage for both searches and bookings. However, if we look at the international and regional travels, searches have actually shifted to desktop, while mobile bookings are also growing. So it is definitely like a changing a scenario that it will change even further in 2023 when we are transitioning into like what we so-called, right, the cookieless world. So how the hoteliers can navigate and stay ahead of the game. So from Sojourn, we consider like a multi-channel strategy solution where mobile is going to play a key role on it. It's going to be crucial. So we can say like with the death of the third-party cookies, leaning on the first-party data will be essential to continue driving the performance from your display advertising campaigns. This also will inevitably create new and better ways to target and retargeting your customers while we are moving from like a cookie-based marketing to people-based marketing. So how do we collect that first-party data? So hash emails, that's the topic that we're gonna hear more and more. So they are like pseudonymization of the customer email addresses are gonna be one of the main sources. They will become the main identifier moving forward on the digital space. It's kind of like a digital passport, we can name it. As you know, like they're used everywhere on the net. So more and more websites are asking you to log in to see their content. So you need it for your apps, you need it to log in social media, you need it to make any single booking everywhere in the web. The other piece will be like first party and cookies ID. So this ID or cookies, first party cookies that sits on your website, they will manage to collect information about your customer behavior without the need of logging in all the time with your email. So when we are able to associate both hash emails and first party cookies, we can start tracking that activity and start generating your traveling profiles that they can be used for your campaigns. In addition to that, the third piece is your historical booking data from CRM. So that data can enrich your profiles and customer audiences and enhance even further your campaign performance. This first-party data allows you for a cross-device targeting, which that's already like a big upgrade compared to the third-party cookies. So that's going to make retargeting campaigns much more impactful. And just worthy to mention here that all this data collection is obviously GDPR compliant. So the second big block of this strategy is the leverage of channels such as social media, SEM, or meta search. So things oftentimes in the travel industry, the focus lies on the bottom of the funnel. However, on a cookieless world, we strongly recommend expanding your full funnel marketing to reach also travelers from what we call it dreaming stage, but it's kind of like the planning stage. So when we deep dive a bit on each of the channels, and to point back what Leah mentioned already, so travelers spend 5 times more time in Facebook and Instagram than any other travel-related touch point. And we're talking like about over 100 touch points every time that a customer is looking for a booking. with all the pictures, videos, activities that the other users say on this channel. So they're a major source for inspirations. So those channels can help across the full funnel, from engaging your brand early on the trip to convert the high intent travelers. So SEM is another channel where you can engage your customers from top funnel to bottom funnel with using branded key terms and also unbranded key terms. And the last one is like meta search engines. So 75%, of the travelers are believed to use meta search in their search process. So this channel, it becomes even more critical to drive direct bookings when we are approaching a cookieless wall. Also, consider that since you own the guest relationship since the beginning, you can collect the high quality first party data, and it is also giving you the opportunity to upsell. So, and that's something that, the hosts of this webinar can explain you quite a bit. So yeah, both two channels like SEM and Meta are two cookieless proof channels. So when we're looking at our numbers internally, when we see like properties are adding 3 channels in the picture, so they double their conversions. To just wrap this up, mobile is a kind of a pivotal element that ties all this together. What we consider to be like a robust strategy to help you generate the direct business. So we base it on a multi-channel, cross-device, and full funnel marketing approach. And our last piece of advice would be obviously work with your trusted partners. And you have quite a bunch in this webinar that they can help you navigate into the complexity of this ever-changing scenario. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for attending, and off back to you, Clement.
Thank you so much, Roger. Very interesting insights, especially on that conversion and change of device. Very, very interesting. And if you ask me, a cookieless world is actually a sad world, but I understand that this is both a challenge and definitely there are some opportunities in there. So let's not grab onto our cookies too much and indeed make the changes. Thanks for that, Roger. Now we're moving on to very interesting topic, which is obviously the conversation within mobile. And for that, I invite to the stage Ben.
We do chat.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Up.
We're good.
Up. I'm good? Okay. So hi, everyone. I'm Ben from Quickest. We specialize in, conversational commerce through chatbots for hotels, and you usually use these kind of systems for direct sales and deliver faster customer support. Okay, but the thing is that the more we progressed, the more we realized that mobiles really redefines the way people consume information. And we are moving from a world of search of information to a world where people actually interact with information. They expect it on demand. So there are 3 points that I would like to touch today. The first one is about mobile is not a question of size. Okay, it's actually a question of enabling people to interact with your content much more than making your website smaller. It's also about broadening your direct sales horizons, because as Leah and other speakers, such as Roger, mentioned, there are new channels that emerge that can be constitutive of your direct sales strategy. And the last point that I will touch is that before, mobile, sales was about delivering a self-service easy experience, and more through mobile, people expect to get assistance, so that you will actually help them have their personalized shopping experience, and you will actually guide them much more than you used to do on regular computer-based e-commerce world. Okay, so when I say the size doesn't matter, that's always very inconvenient to say that out loud, but this time it's true. Is that many people, as Leah said, consider that making the website responsive is enough. But in reality, what mobile is about, it's really about interaction. It's not about how you make your content small. It's about how you make it accessible on demand. Okay. So here I wanted to give you a quick example. Okay, so when you ask a question to Google, Google gives you an answer, and actually more and more Google rewards text answers rather than blocks of content. The more your content is indexed in natural language, the more you will benefit in terms of search optimization. So here, for example, there is a question that I made about a hotel in Punta Cana, and Google gave me an answer. Okay. The problem is that this answer came from HRS because the hotel has not been able to index content in natural language. You have several ways to do that, but I have not a lot of time to elaborate. So think about how you can make your content available. Like the easiest answer is like having a simple FAQ on your website. And if you're interested to go further, there are options that involve artificial intelligence. Okay, but make sure that you have natural language answers in your content. Okay, on your website. Okay, just like this website here at this hotel. You ask a question about this hotel has the answer appears on Google on a place that is called position 0. Okay. Then when you make your content, you have to think that more and more people are expecting to be engaged. So you have to be proactive. Here, for example, you see what Google does. You ask a question to Google, it gives you an answer. We saw that in the last slide. Now you see that on top of that, Google kind of tries to re-engage you because they want you to spend as much time as possible in their platform. So more and more, like people are having chatbot on their hotel website, etc. Maybe use the same strategy. Okay. The role of AI is precisely to guess what will be the customer next question to keep him engaged. So chatbots on AI are not about being nice, human-like assistants. They're actually about delivering the right content at the right time. Okay. The second piece of advice is that I wanted to emphasize in the opportunity you have to expand your direct sales horizons, because since the information you have is accessible on demand, you have a few channels that you were using maybe only for customer support or for marketing, such as social media, that we're here just to post pictures or WhatsApp in case of emergency. But all of a sudden, if your content is structured and actioned by AI, all these channels become able to deliver information on demand to your customers. Okay, and you can move from pretty picture on Instagram to a sale, which is most of the time not the case, because you have the picture on one side and your booking engine on another place, maybe in the description if you have applied what Leah said, or not at all. But customers are not able to get information about your property on those channels. And leveraging AI, for example, is a good way to occupy the space. There is, since there was some emphasis on Google My Business, well, just be aware that there is now messaging feature that Google created, because on mobile, people prefer to get fast answers, or more and more people prefer that. So technology is about enabling new opportunities. So, for example, people that want to go to the website can get there. People that want to call can call, but a huge number of people will want to have their information just instantly without having to do anything. And that's why Google My Business messaging is for. So the idea is that people can ask the information that they want. They get the answer instantly. Okay, and that's your answer. Okay. And the point is that you can guide customers through their search. So you can help them find the information they want and guide them to the booking engine, because your chatbot will usually be connected to your booking engine. Okay. And the idea is that you actually enlarge your direct sales funnel, because what I've just shown you with Google My Business works with WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Okay, and of course on the chat on your website, on SMS, whatever you prefer. But the idea is the information will always be coherent and will always drive people to your booking engine. Okay, so the last point I wanted to touch was about making your sales process a little bit more engaging, because or more proactive. Okay, because you have people that will go to your website, talk to the chat, or go to any of the channels that where you enabled your AI, and they will arrive to the booking engine and they will book. Maybe they will not. So you will be able to leverage the data from the conversation to automatically, for example, follow up with an automated email. That's what Hira will be talking about in a moment. So, for example, your AI can talk to other systems in order to enable proactive follow-up by email. And some bookings will have such a value that you will want to follow up by phone if the customer didn't finish the request. And that's how you should think about like the difference between automation and human work. Everything that is first level, that doesn't engage a value superior to a certain amount that you fix yourself should be automated. And this creates time for your sales or reservation team to go after the specific leads that have a lot of value and can make the difference in terms of the success of your direct booking strategy. So if I summarize everything one more time, okay? On mobile, it's not a question of size. It's about making your content interactive. It's not a question of just your website. It's also about leveraging like all the channels that you can have in order to interact with your customers. And it's about making your booking process much more proactive and enabling re-engagement, because a conversation is something that takes place through time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben. This was, again, very insightful. Definitely understand that actually mobile is not just a device or a different channel, but it's actually a change of mentality and a very different mindset. That also unlocks a lot of new opportunities that probably were not there before, for sure, but also maybe not exploited enough. Thank you so much for that. We are halfway through, so I thought it's time for a little joke, because I do my job as a host, take it very seriously. So why do you think, why does a cell phone wear glasses? Because it's lost all of its contacts. All right, moving on. That was the best transition I could find. No, great speak so far. And I'm really excited to welcome Brendan to the stage to tell us more about how to actually take, indeed, that re-engagement further. Brendan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brendan from Hotel Resbot. And I want to talk today about how mobile impacts the reservation department, what you need to know about how this migration to mobile is changing the dynamics in reservations. And so why do we know about this? Well, we are a company that helps hotel reservation agents and reservation departments to reply to the inbound emails via an AI-powered assistant for the reservation agent. So our assistant helps to actually automate about 70% of the email reservation tasks, while the agents maintain full control. And it's an AI that is pre-trained for hotels and the full-length messages. So we see a lot about what the reservation department is doing. And we want to share a little bit of our insights today in terms of how this is impacted by mobile. But before we get there, why should we care about the reservation department and emails? Aren't those outdated things that nobody uses anymore? Well, actually not. Now, these numbers are from Germany, but it's pretty representative of Europe and many other regions. Guest direct booking emails account for 1/4 of the room's revenue in hotels. That means a guest writes an email to the hotel and a booking comes out of that. On top of that, there are a number of partners that aren't integrated or interfaced, and they send an email as well. So usually for most hotels, over 1/3 of their total rooms revenue is actually coming via email. And so we've looked at, in our expertise and all of the data that we collect from our clients, we've looked at what are the biggest conversion drivers in the reservation department. And the first one is speed. The faster the response, the better the conversion. The second big change is if you include pictures in your proposal or offer emails, that increases both the natural conversion and the upsell conversion. And then the third most important factor to drive your conversion for the reservation department is actually mobile readiness. So just one headline number on conversion rate, that if it takes you longer, or it takes your reservation department longer than 2 hours to reply, then basically you've lost half of your conversion. That is huge. Now, I think this is related to that instantaneous gratification of the mobile world. People expect faster responses, but it was not long ago that 24 hours was a standard response time, and it's just no longer good enough. So the other big topic is include pictures in the proposals that you send out. Now, one of our clients achieved, and we did an A/B testing on this, a 17% conversion increase by including pictures in their offer email. They went from 29% of the offers they sent out to 34%. That's huge money when you think that that's a quarter of their entire business. And additionally, we also looked at what is the impact of pictures on the probability of someone buying the more expensive room. And it was 3 times as likely, an upsell increase of 300%. So you really need to include pictures to drive that conversion. Here's a traditional desktop conversion. Similarly here, we have a different view with multiple bookings, and again, that traditional desktop environment that you look at. So how do you bring that together with mobile emails? Because half of emails today are actually opened on a mobile device. And anyone who has opened an email that did not look correct on a mobile device, well, you know that the vast majority of us, 70%, actually just delete that email unread if it's not looking good on a mobile device. So we need to be mobile ready. But what does that mean? Well, less is more. In other words, the paradox of choice is even more important in mobile than it is on desktop, but it's a topic as well. We see that on desktop, a maximum of 4 products can be included in an email. Otherwise, the conversion suffers. In mobile, it's even less, ideally 2 options. So you kind of have to decide rooms or rates. You need a responsive design because that same email needs to look great on a mobile phone. And if the person opens it later on a desktop, it needs to look great there. So it's got to adjust automatically. I know a lot of hotels use PDFs to create offers and send that out. Don't do that. They are terrible to manage on mobile, and even worse, even on desktop, a lot of companies are now saying don't open up PDFs because it's a viral vector to infect your computers. And of course, the last topic, make sure you have a great mobile booking flow. So it's not just about the email you send, but it's got to look great when they land on the website where they put in their credit card to confirm that booking so that that booking automatically flows into the property management system with no additional effort from res agents. So key takeaways, just a quick summary: reply as fast as you humanly or perhaps automatically can, or at least AI assisted can. Include pictures in all of your proposals. Do not send proposals with a PDF or other non-mobile friendly attachments. Make it look great in the mobile. Use a responsive email to ensure mobile users can read your proposal in that moment. That's the moment they're making the decision. You want to convert them immediately. We want to use those micro moments. And finally, provide a mobile-friendly and credit card secure way to confirm the booking so that the guest can safely provide their credit card details. And that's it from me. Thank you, everyone.
Great, Brendan. Thank you so much. It's very interesting to hear that Google loves speed. Mobile hates PDFs. I think there is definitely a few really pointers to be noted down here. Thanks a lot for this. And I'm excited to welcome to the stage Eric.
Thank you so much, Clement. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. And yeah, maybe just to set the stage. So we've gone from making the booking, having the conversation, making sure that you convert the booking if it happens through email, and where we're now with Oki is basically the booking has happened, and we want to upsell to that guest to maximize revenue and enhance the guest experience. For those of you who don't know Oki, we can reach out to guests via technologies like quick text or WhatsApp or SMS. Those are typically channels where you would only use mobile. So the data that we're going to look at in this presentation is where Oki reaches out to guests via email. And it's some really, really interesting insights here. First of all, I looked at the past year and a half, the past 18 months. We've reached out to 6.5 million guests or so via email, and a whopping 65% of them are using Oki on mobile. So it's a really, 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 really significant majority using Oki on mobile. And as you can see, only a handful using it on tablet. Breaking this down in a couple of key countries, I was surprised, or not surprised to see, it was just interesting to see that the UK tops the list, then comes Sweden, then Russia, then the Netherlands and Belgium was quite similar, Germany down at 63%, and then very interestingly, a lot of, I think especially for us, we are covering, Oki covers mainly 4 and 5 star segment, but across over 100 countries. And the American guests are actually preferring to use upselling via desktop. It's the only nationality that I could find that that has this kind of split. So it's very, very different from the rest of the world. Then, knowing that 65% of digital upselling happens on mobile, which device do you think has the biggest use? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is iPhone. 65% out of all the mobile users are on iPhone. And it's such a big difference that if you look at number 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, it's just a bunch of different Android devices, basically. So it's very clear when you look at this. If you want to have an excellent upselling strategy, you need to make sure that you embrace mobile. And if you're in the 4 or 5 star segment, or maybe lifestyle segment that we touch mostly with Oki, where this data is coming from, you need to make sure that it works really well on iPhone. So knowing that so many of our guests are using iPhone to upsell, what is then characterizing an iPhone user? So I spent some time looking into this, and it's quite interesting. iPhone users typically have higher income, they have higher education, they have higher representation in managerial jobs, and they are deeply caring about technology. But different to an Android user where you're more of a techie, where you like to produce things, an iPhone user loves technology, but as a consumer. I also learned from this research that Android users love hard liquor, whereas iPhone users are more into wine and beer. Looking at this, I think we can take away 2 things. iPhone users are typically a little bit less price sensitive, but truly, truly caring about having a fantastic user experience when they're using technology. And so the way that you set up your upselling strategy, you just need to make sure that it works flawlessly for mobile, especially for iPhone, and that you really, really nail it when it comes to giving a smooth guest experience, digital upselling experience. With all of this in mind, though, whenever you want to upsell, what I would recommend to any hotelier is to first get the basics right. The 80-20 rule applies very much so in upselling as it does in practically everything else. There are 7 deals that make up 80% of the upsell revenue practically across the board, and they are breakfast, parking, dinner reservation, room attributes, room upgrades, early check-in, and late checkout. So just like Brendan mentioned and previously, having great pictures, having great copy, that makes all the difference, but also having the right price. And if you can have an upsell solution that supports dynamic pricing, will have a very, very nice impact on conversion rate to try to optimize the way that you upsell these 7 very critical deals. And once you've done that, have these 7 deals optimized and selling like crazy, then comes the really, really exciting part. And here is, of course, what I'm talking about is adding more personalization, adding more flavor, adding more storytelling. And one thing that I think will be a big trend is that hoteliers will think more like marketeers and really embrace what is called behavioral science. Now, for those of you who don't know it, behavioral science is basically an insight into how our brain works. Every day, the average adult, from the time we wake up till we go to bed, we take about 35,000 decisions. And of course, we cannot cope with taking so many decisions consciously. So we use our unconscious brain to automate a lot of this decision making. And it is when we make a lot of unconscious decisions that we become very irrational and actually very predictable. And this is being used by marketeers all over the world. There are many small tricks that you can really apply within revenue management and upselling. And I think if I was a hotelier today, I would buy, for example, Predictably Irrational by Dan O'Reilly and just learn a little bit about this concept, because there are many small things that you can use to take your upselling, but also your hotel marketing game to the next level. I just want to round off with one very cool example, which is around psychological pricing and cultural differences. So in the world, you have two types of cultures: high context cultures and low context cultures. High context cultures, on the far right side, we have China. Here you have a lot of facial expressions, a lot of gestures, and you need a lot of context with everything that you're saying, essentially. On the whole other side of the spectrum, you have Germany, Scandinavia, and the US. Here, basically, what you're saying is being meant, and you don't need as much context. Hence, what is called threshold pricing works best on the low context cultures. Again, Germany, Nordics, and the US. 4,990, 199, this type of pricing converts best in these countries. Whereas the further to the right that you go, having a threshold pricing of 199 in China will make it seem to them like you're fooling them, because you need a pricing that really depicts what is the exact value that you're bringing and how much should this actually cost. That's why if you go on Alibaba, you will see a lot of these prices, 79.31, or prices that end with 00. I know in Hong Kong there and some Asian countries, there's also a symbolic pricing of ending with an 8 that can have a very positive impact on conversion, simply because of these small nuances in how our brains work. How to apply this in upselling? Well, this is the beauty of it. Then you apply segmentation on nationality, and a wine tasting here for someone like me who comes from Sweden, I will buy it more if it costs $3.99, whereas our Chinese guest will buy it more if it costs $400. Very, very small difference. And these small nuances, once you get into personalization, behavioral science, and how to apply this into your whole marketing game, including upselling, I think can take your whole marketing game and direct business to the next level. So in summary, mobile is king for upselling, except in the US. You have to optimize for mobile, and especially for iPhone, at least in the 4 and 5 star and lifestyle style segments. First, get the basics right. 7 deals make up 80% of the revenue, and then apply personalization, segmentation, and behavioral science. Thank you so much. Back to you, Clement.
Thank you, Eric. Amazing insights once again. Very interesting to see how you can still use mobile and this new mindset, actually, even after the booking is made, to increase direct profitability and continue that way. Thanks a lot to all of the panelists. And of course, this LinkedIn Live could not be about hotels and hotel strategies without an actual hotelier. And what a hotelier we have. I am very honored to welcome on the stage Chris.
Thank you, Clement. I have to say I am very honored to be part of this amazing group. So what I would like to do today is focus on the hotel side of things and regarding all the topics we already spoke about, and maybe we just add one or two to the group. So my name is Chris. I'm the director of e-commerce for the H Hotels group here in Germany. So yeah, let's get right into it. So when we talk about mobile, of course, we also talk about meta listings. Meta listings are such a key factor in driving direct revenues. So this is just a high focus that we have and that I have with our team, or with my team, to really expand the channels, the number of channels that we have, and to really get most out of it. So what does that mean exactly? It means be visible and be available. But how do we do that? So in the end, create or claim your profiles on the different meta channels that are out there. That's just, of course, one of the main things. And then just try to get up the connection for all these channels and push your rates, availability, and be visible. Simply be visible and be available. And next point is show your member rates. If you have member rates, and of course, I know that not every hotel or every hotel company does have these, but if you have, show them to the users, show them to the customers, and make them available, because this gives you a high advantage of people clicking your profile, clicking your hotel direct link, than maybe just the booking.com or Expedia link. And of course, surely there's a way to connect and to manage all these channels yourself. But some of them, TripAdvisor, for example, needs need a connectivity partner. So you're not able to just say to TripAdvisor or call TripAdvisor and say, well, let's just get a connection up and running. So you need a partner for that. So look for a connectivity partner to display your rates and availability on certain meta channels, or even on all of them, as you wish, as you like. So that's about the meta listings. But of course, I think what we've heard a lot today in regards to mobile first and is your website responsive is focus on loading speed. But what can you actually do from the hotel side of things? Check your content. Is content on your website that you really use? Is it outdated, or can you just delete it from your website? Check your cookies, because if you maybe just implemented certain cookies for a partner that you used to work with 2 or 3 years ago, delete them, because they will increase, or they actually lower your website speed depending on the size of the cookies and so on and so forth. If you just notice some of the cookies that you don't need anymore, delete them. Also run A/B tests. Probably all of us heard about A/B tests naturally, but this is something we really need to focus on, because you need to know what kind of design or what kind of structure of your hotel website or mobile website really works for your customers. And in addition to the A/B tests, use heat map tools, because then you also see where does your customer click on the mobile to really see what is most important for him. What we've seen in the last couple of weeks is that images, and we've heard that before today, images are highly important for the customers to really see, okay, what can they expect if they book this or that hotel. So this is actually something that we need to focus on internally as well. So I know this might not be something for everybody because it's really cost intensive, but if you have the time, if you have the staff, if you have the money to do it, create a mobile app and make people aware of it, because this gives you a lot of benefits actually for your customers. First one, fast booking. So if I'm a H Hotels customer, I'm a frequent customer, I have the app, of course, I can save all my stuff in there and have everything at hand if I just need to book a business trip or leisure trip. Member program, of course, if you have one, included in the app, because then you actually have your member card, your member ID always with you. You can redeem your points at the hotel or during the booking. So of course, a very, very important factor. But also from the marketing side of things, it's an important tool to actually promote certain things of your brand. Like may it be special deals, like, hey, we have Black Friday deal, Valentine's deal, package, whatsoever. You can actually promote it with your app. You can update your news and updates slides in your app to really make the customers aware of maybe new hotel openings, certain seasonal things, seasonal events that are out there, to make them aware of them. But also, what we actually probably get most of the time during the day are push notifications, also used to maybe just promote certain things, certain events, certain specials. But this is highly used because your mobile vibrates, or you have a ringtone, you really see it, you check your mobile, okay, I got a push notification from H Hotels. Let's see what they're trying to send me. And of course, the last main point is the branding. It's a big branding factor to really have not only your website and like the old school flyer thing going around, posters whatsoever. It's a mobile and digital branding thing that actually increases the awareness of your property. So then we also come to the ad strategies. And I really need to rush because I set the timer as myself. So just 1 minute left. So bid adjustments. If you do your ads yourself, watch your bid adjustments, because especially for the mobile section, you can increase certain bids for, like, let's say, length of stay, lead time, day of week, etc. Display marketing, of course, also a very, very important factor. We already heard today, because it can be used, of course, for prospecting new customers, but also to retarget existing customers, or customers that actually exit or left your website on a certain page of your website. Then use the extensions, as you can see in the screenshots. Use the extensions because they will actually use a lot of space of your screen. So, and they also give you the possibility or the chance to lead the user to the right section of your website. And what Benji also told us, FAQs are a very important thing, not only for people that are looking for an answer for their question, but also to take or use that space of your mobile. Very, very important there. And last but not least, use a chat. Oh, that's my my alarm clock. So just one more second. Use a chat, because also when we talk about website, Google, WhatsApp, and all the other channels or chat tools that are out there, use them, make them available for your customers, make them available for the to really connect with your team, with your staff, or even with a chatbot to really make them give them flexibility, a low frustration level, an increased user experience that supports you in making a booking, and the staff has actually more freedom to take care of requests and calls that are coming in directly. So I had to rush, but thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Chris. I thought at first that this was a notification coming from your H Hotels app telling you that there was a special going on in a hotel near you. Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. This was definitely very insightful as well. I actually have the pleasure to round off this webinar. But if you have any questions, then please put them in the comments. I, as well, will be dropping the link in order for all of you to receive the slides. So feel free to click on that link. And obviously, the discussion is still open. So if there is any questions that are going on, one thing to summarize, I think that we really got that from every single speaker, is that actually, as a hotel technology provider or a hotel technology user, in order to really make your guest even more attracted by your properties, you have to change your mindset. I think most of us spend our days in front of a computer, in front of a desktop, but the final user probably won't. So I think that change of mindset is extremely important on everything that we do. Not just think that, you know, that email that you're sending, that website you're creating, or that promotion you're crafting will probably not be seen in the same place as you are creating it. So think as a user, think as your guest. That probably works for a lot of different topics, but definitely for mobile too. Thank you so much to everybody. I'm just opening the floor for questions. And I think we have one. Let's see. How does pay-per-click advertising work exactly? How does pay-per-click advertising work exactly? I don't know who wants to take that one.
I can. Pay-per-click on meta search or advertising overall is a bidding that you put on your on your meta search channels, and you will pay each time a guest is clicking on one of your links. So it doesn't mean it will convert. It just means that you pay for each click that is happening on your listing within the search or meta search results.
Great, thank you, Leah. I see one more question popping by, but it's more about a full topic. So let's see if we can have a somewhat of a, of a short answer to this. We haven't talked about SEO and schemas. Can we have some highlights on this too? Who is an expert on SEO and schemas?
I'm not an expert on schemas, but I can talk about SEO. So, of course, it's about the content that you're having on your website that is up to date, that is changed regularly, that can interact with the results or the searches from the travelers. So you have many ways of improving the SEOs. First thing, I think we mentioned that, Benjamin can also talk about it again, but some snippets and an FAQ on your website talking about your hotels, time of checking, location, amenities available. And overall, it's making sure that your property and property website is well listed. If anyone wants to take schemas, feel
No,
free.
thank you.
Great. We still have, I think, the time for one more question. Let's see if any is coming there. I think there is quite a lot of comments that are agreeing to everything that was said. I'll just say it one more time. The presentation slides are also available via the link that I will post again. And very happy to continue conversation, possibly after we're live. So keep on commenting and engaging.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you
so
organizing
much.
it.
Bye.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you to all the experts.